I can see a real basketball game. I watch Duke every time.
Well, here in Lexington, Kentucky, we were invited by the U.S. Attorney's Office because the U.S. Attorney was working with the school district to address bullying. It was really a remarkable model that we would like to see elsewhere in the country.
Schools play a critical role in advancing social justice in our nation, and we take that responsibility to heart here at Fayette County Public Schools. Today's Anti-Bullying Summit is a great example of different agencies coming together to help teach our students to respect human dignity and diversity.
In that community, the United States Attorney had the unique privilege and responsibility to deliver one of the first prosecutions under the Shepard-Byrd Act, an anti-gay kidnapping and assault case that became the first real test of the act. As a result, the work of the Shepards came to their attention.
We are so honored today to have Dennis and Judy Shepard with us. Through their efforts, Congress ultimately passed in 2009 the Shepard-Byrd Hate Crimes Prevention Act. Our district did prosecute the first case under the Shepard-Byrd Hate Crimes Act. It was a truly horrific case, but a very important case. We made the point that here, brutal, senseless violence will not be tolerated.
The opportunity to bring the Shepards out became apparent, and the school system, the university, other members of the community wanted to be a part of that experience.
Mr. and Mrs. Shepard.
I think it's great what they're doing, and I think it's really helpful for the LGBT community.
They took a tragedy and made it into something really great for people who were like their son.
Our demographic has always been youth. The worst mistake you could ever make is underestimate what a young person can understand, or what they're willing to change, or what they're willing to fight for. They're the ones telling us what's wrong, what they want done, what they're inspired by, and that's who we should be listening to, and that's who we're trying to reach. Give the young people the opportunity to make that difference, and they will.
Good morning. When Matt came out to me, he said, "Dad, I have something important I need to tell you. Dad, I'm gay." And I looked at my watch and said, "It's really late. That's fine. So what's so important? You have to tell me. I want to go to bed." Be proud of being different. Matt was. He didn't try and hide it. You shouldn't either.
This really kind of touched us. It almost made me cry. I'm gender fluid. He's agender. I'm not afraid to be who I am, but I don't know why people are so hateful. To me, it doesn't make sense.
What we have to do always is to live our authentic lives in front of everybody, to be proud, to be open, to be understanding, to teach, always to show the richness of our human experience and the vast amount we have in common with everyone else.
I'm really looking forward to more people being comfortable coming out and being authentic and being able to hear and tell and share those stories, whether it's through productions of the Laramie Project on Matthew's Place, anything that just lets somebody share who they are with the world. And I'm really excited to be at the forefront of that.
One thing is sort of personal to me. My research area is nonprofit law, and it pleases me to no end to hear that Mrs. Shepard and her husband created a nonprofit organization to address these issues because no one else was addressing them.
People look to Shepards and look to the foundation to be a voice and to help establish better policies throughout the country. We're good at not just identifying and describing a problem, but developing the solutions that'll make communities not just more equal, but safer.
When we lost Matt, we continued to do the work, not give up. I like to think that his loss wasn't in vain. So that's what we did.
We have a federal hate crimes law that is LGBT and gender identity inclusive. It's named after Matt, it's named after James Byrd. It took longer than it ever should have taken, but it happened.
Even though this legislation from 2009 is very monumental, in my lawyer's eyes see a lot of holes in the law.
Well, even though the act has been passed, there's some flaws within the act. One of them is it does not require reporting. And so we have very skewed statistics about where hate crimes are occurring and what kind of hate crimes they are. So right now we're trying to hone in on that weakness with many other organizations trying to do the same work.
The intention of the law is great, but it's got to be better. There's a lot of improvement that needs to be made, not just with the policy, but with the practice.
The threat of violence continues. The number of hate crimes does not go down. The number of crimes against trans persons is unfolding exponentially. How can we solve the scourge of violence against LGBT people when we don't even know where it's happening?
Thank you so much and have a great day.
It's just the beginning. We at the Foundation want to empower everyone to provide justice to this entire community.
If any of you are questioning the difference between a crime being a crime and a hate crime being something different, it is definitely something different. If you think that every member of the gay and lesbian community wasn't in fear for their life after what they read about what happened to Matt, you would be wrong. Because they all understood that could have been them, and it could be them tomorrow.
From time to time, all of us need affirmation that our work makes a difference. You can't listen to those people and not understand we have to do better. We have to do more.
What you do is so critical and so vital to stop this.
Prosecutions are not the victories. Prosecutions means there's been a terrible failure. The victories come from prevention, from doing the work like hopefully we did today so that these cases don't happen. They've changed the history of our country. Lives will be saved. Our country is better for what they've done. And how can you not admire that?
To understand that people feel so grateful to us, it's just what we needed to do. You don't set out to do this work. It's because it's the right thing to do. I think we're grateful that people embrace our message. I think that makes us grateful.
My perception of the future is to close the foundation because we're not needed anymore.
You don't watch Kentucky. You don't watch Kentucky.
But they're coming up. They're getting better. It's got a good coach. It started with this.